Okay. There we go. So, let's see. Late night thoughts. It's 12:30. I've never done this before. I'm recording in my bedroom. And I'm like, okay, well, there you go. Look at the diffuser. And I'm like, what do I honestly even want to talk about right now? I've never done this before. I'm like, what's the feeling that I have? I don't know. Today was interesting. Like, so wrapped up in this pointlessness and meaninglessness and all this stuff. I don't know. I'm like, am I concerned? You know, about myself right now? Not in that, like, again, this suicide thing. It's not even that. I'm just like, it's so strange, this feeling that I have. You know, and even this whole YouTube thing. I'm like, oh God. I'm like this could get really dark. You know, I could fall really, really far or something. Maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to talk my way through all of this and express myself as much as possible and not hold it in and ignore it and not act like I'm not all fucked up. You know, because I am, or something, or whatever the feeling is. Like, I just have this weight or something on me right now. Like, I've been sitting in my room or whatever, right? And, you know, I went for my walk earlier today. And then I came back home, took little snippets from everything, right? You know, and posted them on YouTube. And I'm like, looking at my body at work now. And I'm like, wow, is this what I've done so far? You know? It's very interesting to think about that. The combined total of videos that I've made so far, unlisted, public, you know, there's a couple unlisted videos that I have, or several unlisted videos. I have 35 videos, you know? 35 videos. I mean, you know, I have the long walks that I have gone on, and I split those up. But I'm like, yeah, 35 pieces of content, all created from me. And I am proud, but I'm like, oh, of course, I wish it was more. But, you know, I just started like 3 weeks ago. It's almost been a month now, actually. I made that first video again, July 2nd. That's when I started doing this whole thing, and it's been almost a month journey. And I've never made a second video in a day. And I'm like, yeah, it's late. It's like, it's fucking 12:30 at night. It is Sunday morning. And I'm still up. And I'm like, wow, I can't shut up. Like, I want to document my thoughts again. I want to feel how I'm feeling right now and go through that. Like, I've been sitting in my room, right? And I was even doing something a little goofy. I was just recording myself. Oh, that's interesting. So you can see my reflection a little bit in this diffuser, but you can't see my face. It's not even on. Anyways, I've been just sitting in my room and I was recording myself just dancing. Just dancing to, you know, old songs that I used to listen to. And I'm like, I don't know how to explain this, but I'm sadly, weirdly enjoying myself. Or I was, and even like, you know, listening to YouTube and stuff, like I was finding myself interested. And even when I was dancing, I'm like, you know, feeling this sense of goofiness and silliness. But there's this like sadness behind it all. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? You know? I'm like, what the fuck is that sadness? I'm just gonna check the mic real quick. Yeah, it's working. I'm like, and like, what the fuck am I doing right now? I'm making another video? Why? Like, what else do I want to talk about? What else is on my chest? What other feelings am I feeling? I'm like, wow. Do I feel really alone? Yeah, I do. And I'm like, okay, like I will be. Like, nobody is ever going to 100% understand me. You know, and I'm like, what number would I be satisfied with when connecting to people? You know, 80%, 70%, 90%, like, because I'm never going to reach 100%. I'm never going to reach that. But Jesus, this, like, I'm like, okay, I still don't like using this word depression. Like, I still don't like using it because of how I used to look at it. You know, how my definition was before. It was, you know, you're sad and you want to kill yourself, right? And I'm like, yeah, that's depression. But I'm like, yeah, I'm depressed. Like, there's this thing over me. Do I feel this unbelievable sadness? No, it's not that. And again, I don't need to even fucking explain it. It's just this. And I'm like, I used to, like back in the day, like in high school or even elementary school, middle school, like I had this feeling. But it's different now. Because this feeling that I'm having now, I'm trying to not look for attention. You know, like I don't want attention. The depression I was feeling when I was younger, or whatever, right? There was always this self-pity, sad boy feeling. But in reality, it was just, if you could see the pain in my eyes, you would, whatever I would want to say, right? Just that fucking bullshit just to get attention. Like, that's what I was doing beforehand. But no, this is different. This is, I'm an adult, or what, apparently. I'm about to be 27, you know. Like, this is a completely different feeling. And the walk I had today, it just, damn it, man. Like, I remember, it just, I don't know, kind of went in a weird direction, but it turned out good. I was very happy with it, actually, but I got stuck in that forest for a second looking for that creek from my childhood so I could relive like my innocence or something when I was a kid. You know? Whatever I was chasing in that forest today. And I'm like, wow. You know, like what's honestly the problem right now? Why can't I just be vulnerable? Why can't I just... Why am I so afraid? You know, I'm like, what? Again, I'm posting these things on YouTube, and the people I'm talking to now, you know, I'm saying that I have a YouTube channel, and some people now have my channel, right? How many of them are actually staying up to date? I don't know. I don't know that. You know, how many people are actually watching my videos all the way through without clicking away? My girlfriend, that's about it. But even her, you know, it's backlogged. I'm making a lot of fucking things, and I'm like, oh God, here's my 36th video. You know, I don't even know how long I'm going to talk because it's weird. I've never been stationary while talking. So like this is a first. And I even thought about how I would want to make a video like this. You know, and if I get my apartment, or when I do, you know, what I record inside of my apartment. You know, how loud could I be? I mean, right now I don't feel like yelling or anything. I just want to talk calmly, or whatever. I just want to talk and speak my mind and talk about how I'm feeling. It's just strange. Like, I'm like, yeah, it's just that. And I'm like, oh God, am I gonna, like I have a big fear that this is gonna get worse. This feeling that I have, it's not gonna get any better. You know, like it's not going to get better. I'm gonna start falling. I'm gonna start really, really falling. Because beforehand I was, you know, not losing my mind or something, and I felt like stable. But now I'm like, oh fuck, okay. I feel the grips of reality slipping away from me right now. And I feel dangerous. And I'm like, okay, what does that even mean when I say that? And then I have a fear that, you know, I'm saying all this stuff, right? And whoever might be listening would be like, oh God, I'm really concerned for him. And I'm like, well, I am putting myself out there like this, and I don't want to scare anybody. At the same time, I want to be real, and I want to be authentic, and I want to actually say what's going on. It's like, if I scare you, I'm sorry, you know, but at the same time, I want to be me. And if I'm having these dark thoughts and I want to express that and say that, and yeah, you might look at me different, whoever I showed, and yeah, I still see you on the job, and if you watch these videos and you're like, God damn, he's fucking crazy, or not crazy, but just, oof, you know, that's some dark shit in there. Oh damn, dude, I didn't know you were like that. They wouldn't even say any of that to me. It's just a matter of, they would keep that to themselves, and they'd be like, wow, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? You know, wow, he's way out in left fucking field. Like, what's going on with him? You know, like, oh, some things I relate on, but hey, that weird shit that you started talking about, what the fuck was that? But without even a curiosity, just like, oh, okay, that was a little weird, right? Woof. Jesus, well, hey, dude, fucking blah, blah, blah. Go do, whatever, right? I want to say what I'm fucking feeling, though. I just want to say it. I want to be able to express that, and I want to be able to open up about it. Because fear is just really, it is absolutely crippling. You know, it's stopping me from a lot of things. And I'm like, oh, the thing I actually wanted to say was loving my girlfriend and diving deep and having that deep connection with her. And me and her were texting back and forth today a little bit about that. And I was talking about how afraid I am of that deep level of intimacy. I've never been there with a woman before. So, you know, I mean, what me and her were talking about doing or something, it was just a very high level of vulnerability and a very high level of intimacy, and me having to let all my guards down that I've put up my whole entire life. You know, this self-defense that I've portrayed as self-love. I've been just extremely guarding myself. And I still am. I'm protecting myself and everything. And I am afraid of that, what me and her were talking about. And just, you know, more of the feeling of like losing it. And I said that to her. I'm like, I'm afraid to have that deep of a connection with you, you know, and then the possibility that, you know, we won't be together, or somehow you die and I'm still, you know, fucked up and alive, right? And having to deal with the loss of her and that connection. And I'm like, fuck, man. Unbearably painful thinking about that. And I'm like, even right now, I'm kind of numb, you know, but I smell this absolute mental breakdown, just crying a lot probably, on the horizon soon. You know, it might even happen right now, but I don't know. At the same time, I'm kind of in this blocked state of mind, but I'm upset about that. I got so upset today in the forest when I was looking for that creek, and I didn't find it. But I actually did find it. It was just dried up, and it just looked different, and it wasn't what I wanted. You know, it's like there's something about that creek. There's something about all those trails where I go running through all that stuff. And I'm like, wow, nobody is listening to this except me. It's going to be just me again most of the time, as of right now. You know, most of this is going into the void, is what it feels like. And I'm like, wow, so I've just been there for me, huh? Yeah, I have been. I've just been there for me. And I'm like, wow, is that what's been happening? And I'm like, wow, I don't even want to feel any of that right now. But yeah, I've been just there for me. You know, and again, I'm scared because I'm like, wow, yeah, people could watch this or whatever. And I'm like, and I want to feel it so bad, actually, like I do. I don't like being numb because I'm not a numb person. It's like all my emotions are buried deep under a lot of layers of fear and anxiety and doubt and fear of rejection and all this stuff. And I'm like, it's such a shame. You know, that right now there's such a block, and I'm like, I just want to be able to release that. You know, because I just remember, and I'm trying to find the path right now so I can just cry, but I'm like, fuck, I can't. And I'm like, where is it? Please, God, just open that up. I'm just tired of being afraid. I'm like, I'm teary-eyed right now, but it's not what I want. And I'm like, oh, you're just trying to force yourself to cry. You're just trying to force yourself to be authentic. And I'm like, yeah, I guess that's true to some degree. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't. You know, and I feel these waves of emotions right now, and I'm like, they keep going up and then down and then up and then down. I just felt it for a second, but then it went away because I don't even feel like I'm being genuine. I'm just trying to force it. And then I'm not a good person. And I'm not this and I'm not that. And I'm like, wow. I'm so fucking mad. But I don't even have the energy. And I'm like, yeah, I just want to push through that. I want to push through all of this. I want to push through all of these barriers because they're not helping me. You know, like they're not helping me at all. Like there's so much things in the way. It's like, I wanted to text my brother today. And I'm like, I stopped myself, and that's such a shame. I just want to text him and say I'm proud of him. And I'm like, I didn't. I'm like, why? What the fuck is going on? Why am I not saying I love you to the people I love every single second of my life? Why am I not letting them know that every fucking day? Why am I not saying that to my girlfriend every fucking day or every second? Like, what am I so afraid of? And even in this video, it's like, yeah, I know what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of rejection. I'm Mr. Non-monogamous, right? Whatever, right? She doesn't even understand my love and how it's free and how I could love multiple women and all this stuff. And even as I'm saying that right now, it shuts me down because it's not right, you know, that my heart is like that or whatever. It doesn't make sense and it's questioned. And then I see and then I shut down and I'm like, wow, yeah, I guess I'm not a good person or I'm not a something. And then I start, like, I just want to say I'm proud of you to my brother. I hate it because it's really getting in the way of loving people. It's really getting in the way. And I think, like, you know, that might be this whole purpose or something to this life or something. Like, it, out of everything, it's just love. It's just, you know, and I don't know exactly what that means or whatever, right? And I don't want to get into the technicalities. It's just like, I just feel that. I'm like, I want to love people. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this fear. Because that's all I do. I just shut down. I shut down a lot, all the time. Yeah, I just see myself walking around today and I'm like, I was so sad in that forest. I was so sad looking for that piece of innocence that I couldn't find. Because I'm just this adult now that I just don't even care about it. You know, it's like I'm at a different stage of my life now. And I just want to release all this stuff, this feelings and just tears and stuff. And I'm like, please let me feel. You know, and I do want to force myself, even like with the pressure of the camera, the everything, the pressure of society, the pressure of people, the pressure of my girlfriend, the pressure of my parents, the pressure of my brother, friends, family, everything. I just want to be able to feel that, and I want to be able to stop being so afraid. Because I don't know what life is. I don't. I don't have any purpose here. I just, but I'm like, what is behind all of these videos? What am I doing it for? And I'm like, oh, that sounds stupidly corny. Like, see, that's what I mean. I don't even want to say that, but I'm like, is it for love? I'm like, what honestly is the problem? It's like, well, my girlfriend loves me. Why is that not enough? Or something or whatever, where I have people that love me. I'm like, what am I so upset about right now? Well, I mean, there's that too. Like, even the people that I love currently, like, they're gonna die, and that's something that always fucks with me. Like, I'm gonna die too. And that's it, man. There's nothing else after this. And I'm like, my dog died like 2 years ago. I had him for, I don't care. I don't need to say that. It's like, I miss him. This is the whole point. It's not even about my dog. It's like, it's just a lot of things. It's just a lot of that. Oh, God. Yeah, I miss my dog. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck. Like, there's no going back. When somebody dies, that's it, man. Or something dies, it sucks. But I get it. I'm like, wow, yeah, I understand how you can have those happy thoughts of, I'll see you again. Well, I don't have them. I don't have the happy thoughts like that. I don't have them at all. I don't believe in it. That's why when I love so deeply, it's like I want to make things right now. And I want to love as much as possible. And I think that's what my issue is right now, is that there's so much fear and blocks and things in the way with everybody, including myself. And I do feel like those moments of happiness that I feel is when I really connect with somebody. We both feel vulnerable in that moment. Like, that's life to me. That's something I would want to go for. And I think live for. And I think that's why I'm making these videos, because, maybe that is a form of me reaching those connections and feelings and stuff. And it's like, all right, fine. I just want to open up, and I want to stop being so afraid to be me, because I have been my whole life. And when you're like this, you grow up and you suppress everything, and you're forced into this fucking box. And I'm like, what am I doing right now? I'm up at fucking, it's almost 1 a.m, and I'm fucking crying on a fucking video camera. Like, why? And I am trying to be patient with myself, but like, yeah, that is the feeling. It's like, I'm tired of being afraid to be me. And I understand that there's things that I'm going to have to do to fight through all of this stuff. I'm in this societal thing, but like, through all the cracks and all of these images that I have to put up and portray, like, I want to find just life. I want to find life, and I think life is is in vulnerability like this. This is where I think life is. When you're really putting all the guards down, you're taking them down. And that's the thing. It's like, okay, this whole self-love thing, I'm like, yeah, okay, everybody's saying that. I'm like, okay, I'm going to listen to this video and I'm going to be like, don't worry, I'm there for you, man. I understand. You know, especially like today, I listened to my walk, you know, that I made today. And when I was walking through that fucking forest, looking for the creek, I was just so sad for that person when I was listening to it, but I was like, fuck, that's me. That was just me today. I don't know. I'm like, life's about to change too. I don't know in what way. I'm scared. You know, that's what I mean. I'm about to leave here. I'm about to leave my parents' place. I'm going to be on my own. And I'm like, it's not even registering. It's not real that change is on the way. I'm like, it's 2 weeks away from now. And I'm like, wow, so what is this depression again? What am I feeling? You know, is it just that? Like, I just want connection or something? Is that what it is? Or just on a deeper level, I'm just tired of all the fear. Man, wow, all right. I don't know. I'm in a daze as well. And even right now, I'm like, did I just do that? Is this what I just did right now? And then I'm like, all those stupid thoughts in the back of my mind of, oh, who's going to listen to this and who's going to watch it and who's going to give a shit and all that whatever stuff. I'm like, okay, well, I want somebody to relate. Yeah, of course I do. And to talk to me about it. And to connect with me. Not to say that I've been there or whatever the fuck. It's just to talk about it. And just be like, well, okay, I have those similar thoughts. And then, yeah, you can have a conversation. It's weird, though. I've been connecting with a lot of people at my work now. Like, it all shifted. My whole energy shifted. And I'm like, even if I leave that job, too, that's going to be emotional. And then when I leave here, my parents' place, that's going to be very emotional. But I'm not sure how I'm going to, deal with that. I really don't know. And it's just like, oh, you got to grow up, man. You gotta leave. And I feel that I do want to leave. I want to have my own space. I feel that. At the same time, like, I found myself today, walking out there, saying hello to my mom and dad. Just who cares? Just blah blah blah. Me and my mom went to Starbucks this morning and got Dairy Queen. And I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, this fucking anonymous thing that I gotta do right now. I'm like, fuck, man. Because I just want to, I like to just show myself, because I'm like, it takes away a lot that all you can see right now is this fucking glowing shit diffuser And I'm like, oh God, why am I doing this in the first place? I'm like, because I don't know how else I'm going to break out of my social contract. I don't know what other way I want to make millions of dollars. You know, like, again, start a business or whatever, go get a trade. I don't know what the fuck I want to do. I don't know, I walked out of my room, you know, earlier before I even started making this video. I'm like, oh yeah, my dad went to bed. And I'm like, okay, good. I kind of got to get this off my chest right now, and I feel like I can go to sleep. But you know, it's weird. I'm like, I like don't want to stop recording or something. Because like right now, weirdly, I still don't feel alone, right? But as soon as I stop recording, I'm like, oh fuck. You know, like I know I gotta go to bed. It's, you know, it's getting late, and I don't want to stay up super fucking late. But yeah, I guess I just feel like I'm having a hard time or something with whatever I'm feeling. You know, I'm having a real hard fucking time. You know, whatever these emotions are that I'm going through, I'm having a hard fucking time. You know, and I'm like, all these people that I talk to, all of them, you know, at my work and just in general, it's like, yeah, like, this construct of living is so sad and tragic. And I'm like, wow, I only get to live one time, huh? Or this is the only life that I know. And I'm like, it trips me out sometimes when I think about that. I'm like, I legitimately know nothing else but this body and these eyes and this presence of life. This is all I know, or whatever, this existence. And yeah, it's going to end eventually. And all the people I love are going to be gone. You know, so I want to tell them as much as possible that I love them. And I want to stop being so angry, and I want to stop being so egotistical and fearful and all this stuff. And I just want to say that I love them. You know, and I want to fight past that fear. I want to fight past the fear that I even have with my girlfriend. This conflict that we're going through, me and her, and we've been going through it for a long time. And I'm not speaking about my relationship, because again, yeah, it's just been a very heartbreaking experience, but like very beautiful at the same time, but extremely heartbreaking, you know, because I'm hurting her and she's hurting me. We're just hurting each other, but we don't know how to leave, and it's just, but the connection's so beautiful and deep. And again, I'm so sick of feeling like a criminal. It's like, oh, well, you just need to go get with the right woman that's not going to think it's bad. You're non-monogamy or whatever, right? And I'm like, it still doesn't stop the pain that I'm already feeling. You know, it's like, oh, you're crying over a what? It's like, hell fucking yeah. I'm crying over a lot of things. And I'm like, yeah, that connection's beautiful. And I can't even bullshit and lie and all this red pill and manosphere and women explaining dynamics and men explaining dynamics. It's like whatever I have with her is, you know, whatever, it sounds stereotypical, unexplainable, but I'm like, yeah, it's just a beautiful connection that I have with her, you know, and it's not perfect at all, and we don't match on a lot of things, but god damn it, it's such a beautiful love. You know, and I don't fall into any category that I'm supposed to. I don't ever fall into anything that I'm supposed to be fucking doing. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, man. Well, this is a trip. Well, I didn't expect to be all... But I'm like, good, I have to feel this, and I want to feel it, and I want to see what this is, whatever I'm going through. Oh, God. I'm a fucking mess, actually, but I'm a good mess. It's just, it's just hard going through this right now. It's just, and trying to push through all of this. It's very difficult. It's very hard to fight all of those deep-rooted fears and stuff. It's like, oh, what are you afraid of? It's like, I don't even want to get into that. It's like whatever I'm feeling and whatever fears I'm talking about, I don't want to explain. It's just I'm saying they're hard to fight through, and I'm having a difficult time dealing with them. And it's like, oh, how you doing, man? Oh, what the fuck? I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to even say that I have that. Like, I don't want to. I'm like ashamed of it or something because I was so saying I don't have it. When I'm like, oh, oops, I have a form of depression. Or I had a misinterpretation of it. And I guess all of a sudden that's kind of fucking with me because I'm like, oh, fuck, I guess, I don't know. And that makes me, like, just even the word depressed. And I was like, well, I'm not depressed. And I guess that made me feel better. And then I talked to my therapist, and then it's like, I did get slapped with the word. And then it's like, oh, fuck me. Okay. It's not making me feel any better or something, It's like, yeah, dude, you're describing depression. I'm like, when I was talking to him, and he was like, yeah, that's it. And I was like, oh, okay. Whoops. Thought it was something else. Whatever this feeling is, whatever you want to fucking call it, it doesn't feel good. I'll just say that. Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm like, there were things today that I enjoyed. But I'm like, yeah, there's that feeling on the back of my mind now. This weight. And I'm like, oh, God. Is this going to get worse? Whatever I was saying earlier, is this going to get fucking worse? Oh, God, I hope not. At the same time, that's why I wanted to make this video and just talk about it and say what the fuck it is. And say how the fuck it actually is. Man, I don't know. I'm tired. I think I need to go to bed. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe I should stop diving into all of this right now because it's very heavy. It's very heavy, and I could, accidentally open up the wrong door and just get flooded with even more heavy emotions and just absolutely, I don't even know. So I'm like, okay, maybe that's enough. That's enough mental exercise today. That's enough thinking today. Just, all right, take a break, man. Just go to bed and wake up the next day. And I'm like, yeah, I feel very sentimental right now. It's actually ridiculous. And I'm like, oh boy, all right. I'm like, I'd like to hear my girlfriend's voice right now. That'd be nice. But, we said goodnight already. But, life is very tragic or something. But I even went outside again, kind of late tonight, just fresh air every now and then, and I could see the stars. And I was like, wow, that's beautiful. I just looked up. Could barely see anything because of all the light pollution, but regardless, I saw, several dozen stars in the sky. And I'm like, why the fuck haven't I been looking up? I'm like, oh shit. That's a whole other world. I'm like, and then I'm like, wow, we gotta go camping somewhere where it's like, there's no city lights and all that shit. And I could just look up at the galaxy and just wonder. Because I've never seen it in real life, and I would like to do that, actually. God, I hate all these words, and I hate all these shame and words that I'm afraid of. You fucking faggot, why you crying? Why you fucking be? I'm like, oh God, manhood. Men don't cry. Men don't do that. You're not supposed to be vulnerable. You fucking pussy. I'm like, what you crying for? Man up. Find your purpose. Rah! Push the emotions down. Do what you gotta do. Fight. I'm like, thanks, drill sergeant. Whoever the fuck name you have. Thanks, man. For the motivational words of wisdom. I want to feel my emotions, and I want to feel all of this stuff, and I don't want to suppress them out of the strive for manhood. I'm still trying to even figure out what the fuck that means, along with all these other things I'm trying to figure out. I don't know, and it's just like, even all this emotional tearing up, it's like, aw, like I don't want no ahs or whatever. Oh, like fuck off. Like fuck you. Like I don't want you to feel sorry for me. I just want you to feel me. Yeah, that's the whole feeling that I have right now. I guess that's what's going on. Unexpectedly. Alright, well. Yeah, I think that, well, I don't even know what I said in all of this, to be honest. I have no fucking clue. That's why I made a video, and now I can rewatch and fucking feel it and see it and understand. Oh, alright, well. Yeah, I don't know if I want to say anything else. Well, if I do, I'll just start another one, but right now I'm gonna stop this one. Yeah. Okay. Until goodbye.